Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Today, we're going to be doing a review for the new Futmas cards, and they finally released a card that everyone wanted, but they didn't necessarily give the position that everybody wanted, because, to be honest, I'm going to look at these SBCs, I'm going to look at the requirements for the SBCs, and they're probably not going to be worth it, because I believe this is Sun's first inform card. Just going to go ahead and confirm that right now by looking on Footbin if it wants to open up, and it doesn't want to open up for some reason right now. I think this is Sun's first inform card. I don't think he's gotten any inform, so because this is his first inform card, his stats, in my opinion, are not going to be significant enough for people to want to get this card. And I know that the requirements for it's going to be probably really expensive because it's Heung-min Son, but yeah, see, here's the thing, right? You got Team of the Week or Ones to Watch players, minimum 2. You need to get Players from the same league, maximum 6. Premier League players, minimum 3. Team overall rating 86. For me personally, man, the design of the card is cool and all, but it's just not worth getting, right? Because if we look at the comparison, right? If I could compare, I'm gonna go ahead and compare to his. Whoops, did not mean to do that. I'm gonna go ahead and compare to his smaller version here. So that's the 84, or why are there two versions of the card? Oh, one's the Champions League card. So let's go to the 84, yeah? Okay, if you look at the specifics, right? Base card stats looks like they're improving. But if we go to the in-game stats, they're improving by 1 or 2. Now, if it improves by 1 or 2, and it's a first inform in the same position, most of the times, it's not worth getting, right? When you're improving only by 1 and 2. Here's the thing, though, right? Would it be worth doing this card with these requirements for a striker card? It would be, because of the attributes that Sun has. Even if it's like 800k, I don't know how much this is going to cost, right? But for the attributes that he has, getting full chemistry, getting like he has the weak foot. He's got obviously the strong foot. He's got, if you look at his attributes, he got 87 finishing with 83 composure, right? Good shot power, good long shots, like. He's a meta player, right? But if only he was a striker card, them making Sun a left mid card brings no value to him, because you're going to be doing an expensive SBC for very insignificant upgrades, right? In my opinion, everyone's entitled to their own opinion in terms of what Sun is, but whenever a card comes out that's a first inform, if it's not a position change, it's not worth getting, right? Because position change, you could play him if he's a striker, center forward, cam, center mid. There's so much you could do with that card. You could put him in so many different positions. But if you're a left mid, you got left mid and left wing, and then you got 7 chemistry at center mid. No one wants to put him on 7 chemistry. People want to give him the full chemistry. So I'm telling people probably not worth doing. But we are going to be doing a review for the in-game stats. All the rest of these cards, they're just irrelevant, aren't they, right? Like, you look at Rigoni, he has a 5-star weak foot, but then he has 74 composure. EA, you're giving special versions of cards. Just give him the composure. Don't be scared. Give him 80, give him 81, make him usable. He already has 79 finishing and stuff. Just make him usable. Defensive players are always on top of you. His composure is going to affect his finishing a lot most of the times. Just make them usable. Give them a good composure. Because, dude, with a 5-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves, like, you got a card that looks like fun to use. But then you have the composure being 74, and this guy's going to be fluffing shots left, right, and center, you know? Anyways, let's look at Sun's card, yeah? So, Sun's card. Sun is 6 foot tall, high work rates. Great start, to be honest, if you're looking at someone who is going to be playing as a left mid from you. High work rates is really nice to have for left mids, because, if you're starting off in a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-3-1 wide and you want your player to push up, you could tell him to push up. If you want to push back, you could tell him to push back. On balance, he will do both really well, right? Work rate on high kind of gives you a lot of options, right? Some people like to have the high medium on the sides because they want their players to be more aggressive on the attack more than defensive. Sun will be a combination of both on balanced instructions, right? 5-star weak foot's obviously very nice to have. If you want to do a driven shot with him, there will be times where he will score. Sometimes he'll just completely fluff it, because that's just a game mechanic in FIFA 19. 4-star skill moves. If you look at his attributes, 89 acceleration, 86 sprint speed. So it's good because his acceleration is better than his sprint speed. And acceleration being better than sprint speed is more important this FIFA, because sprint speed does nothing for you, because defensive AI will catch up to you, right? So 89 acceleration is pretty decent. The problem with this card, and the problem that will always exist with this card, is that his agility and balance is not high enough. Because if it was high enough, then he would be moving on the ball really nicely. He will still have a sluggish feel to him, right? Because it's not at the bare minimum requirement of an 84, 85 agility and balance, right? So it's a little bit poor in that regard, right? Finishing 87, 83 composure is fantastic. 88 shot power, 90 long shots, also fantastic. Again, the agility and balance is not that high, but in comparison, if this was a striker card, in comparison to the other strikers in this game, this would be one of the most meta cards that doesn't reach Ronaldo yet. Because Ronaldo, honestly, is like last year you can use Martial and Gabriel Jesus, and they would still be a meta. Like they would still have things missing, but they would still be a meta. There's no meta strikers right now. Like there's Werner, but they have too many in-game problems, right? But Son would be the closest. It would be him and Werner that'd be the closest to the most meta strikers if it was a striker card. But EA gave us left mid card, who's technically first or second in form because he has a Champions League card too, and the Champions League card was barely upgraded as well, right? He's got 90 stamina, so stamina is good to have as a left mid to push up, come back, so on and so forth. But in general, very underwhelming that he's not a striker card. Like they had to have made him a striker card to make this Futmas SBC interesting, because you're essentially just paying for an inform that'll feel almost the exact same as his regular version. Again, if it was a striker card, you have more options with it. You can, rotate him to different positions and have fun with it. But because he's a left mid, you're getting the card that's going to be expensive because his requirements is an 86 rated team with a minimum of 2 team of the week, once to watch, or a once to watch team of the week, so on and so forth, Premier League players. It's kind of expensive. I don't know how expensive it's going to be, but it's going to be expensive because 86 rated nowadays is not cheap, right? Emiliano Rigoni. This card right here, right? Let's see what his requirements are. So his requirements is Serie A players minimum 2, 84 team overall rating, team chemistry 90, number of players in the squad 11. It's just not worth getting as well because, right? Obviously with this card, if you did the Gomez SBC, it's cool, right? Because you'll have 2 Futmas cards. The design of the cards look cool in your team. In game though, right? Having someone that has 79 finishing and 74 composure in this game is not usable, right? So it would have been cool, like, hey, you want to keep the finishing on 79? Fair play. But again, and I will keep reiterating this every time I make these videos, yeah? You gotta improve the composure when you give cards special versions. If you want to keep their attributes, whether, Rigoni, he has bad balance, good agility, fine. Fair play, that's the attributes of the card, fair play, whatever, right? 79 finishing, fair play. But the composure, right? You have the stamina, you don't have the jumping, but hey, that's a characteristic of his, right? 85 stamina, good. Give you a thumbs up on that one, EA, even though I'm pretty sure Rigoni's regular card probably already has good stamina, right? But the stamina minimum requirement has been met for a special version of a card. But the composure minimum requirements for an upgraded card has not been met. 74 is really bad in this game, okay? You gotta give him, honestly, an 81. You gotta give him an 81. For a special version of the card, you have to give him an 81. You want to keep your shot power, your finishing, your volleys, all that the same? Fair play. But the composure needs to be upgraded. Needs to be, okay? I think with Rigoni's card, he already had an inform before. If I remember correctly. I think he did. I can't remember exactly. But it's not a card I would get, personally. And the last card is Marcelo Saracchi. So this is one of the cards that may be worth getting. Let me see what his requirements are. So his requirements is another 84 rating with 1 team of the week or Champions League player. 84 rating. I mean, the thing is with this card's good because the comparison that you would make with Saracchi's card is that you're making the comparison between David Alaba, Saracchi, Rosillian, Wendell. I mean, it's not a bad card, but it's not like a great card. It's not a card I would like die to get, if that makes any sense. I mean, to be honest, it's not a bad looking card. But it's 5'8", 82 jumping kind of makes up for a little bit, so it's not too bad. Does he have strength? No strength, so crosses in the air, good luck. Yeah, I don't know if I would do this card because look, the pace, fantastic. Dribbling, fantastic, because you got the agility and balance as well as the acceleration sprint speed, so transitioning with him left and right will be awesome. Composure 76 for a defender is not bad, pretty decent. Passing is great. Short passing is 83, 78 long passing. Defensive stats are not too bad. Interception 73 while being 5'8", not great. Stamina is good, bare minimum requirement for the fullbacks because they run a lot. Strength is way too low considering that he's 5'8". Aggression 80 is pretty good because the aggression goes hand in hand with the acceleration and sprint speed, but the strength isn't there, so you have to try that out in game. I think the aggression and the sprint speed together will be very good, to be honest. I don't know though. He's from Red Bull. He's from Uruguay. Godin? Yeah. Just don't think they're worth it. See, I don't know why, like, I'm not trying to be one of those guys, right? But I don't know why EA does this, right? Because these Futmas cards have kind of been underwhelming a little bit, right? The left back, the comparison that you're going to be making between other players in that left back position, in that regard, it would be worth it in that regard. But you have to make a Bundesliga team. You have to. Because he plays for Red Bull Leipzig, so... Leipzig, I can't think of anyone that's like that good at Leipzig, to be honest. Because then you're making the comparison between Uruguayan players, which is just Godin. Werner, lol. Oh, Werner! You know what? Yeah, I forgot about Werner. Yeah, if you put Werner in the team, yeah. Because you could put 4-3-2-1, Werner center mid, gets that full, well, not full link because that card's not German, but he gets the double links. Is it worth getting the double links with Werner? Not really, because with Werner you would make a Bundesliga team anyways. You know what I mean? Green link. Yeah, just, I don't know. It wouldn't really make a difference. Because you would still need a German player with Werner. Yeah, I don't know. Not really feeling these SBCs. The Sun, I would have felt if it was a striker card, but because it isn't, just isn't worth getting in my opinion. I think it's gonna be way too expensive. I don't know how much it's gonna cost, but I mean, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be up there because I know 84 rated teams aren't cheap, and I think this one requires a Team of the Week player too. It does, or a Champions League player. Yeah. If you put Saracchi in the team, you're confined to only doing a Bundesliga team. Essentially, if you're going for meta, Saracchi does get that chemistry link with Werner if it's a 4-3-3. He gets that one link, but you would still go Bundesliga at the end of the day. This is just an opinion. I don't think any of these SBCs are worth doing. Composure's too low on Rigoni, finishing is too low, Sun's not a position change, and then Saracchi, you would only be confined to using a Bundesliga team, so I wouldn't say they're necessarily worth doing. Sun is a cool card that they brought out, but I just think that when it's a first inform, second inform, there's not a huge difference, right? You're just not going to notice it. But if you do a position change, then, then it would be good. But that's pretty much my opinion. I think the card looks cool in regards to it being a Futmas card, the design and everything. Whoever makes the designs, bless your soul, they look awesome. But in terms of stats, I feel like they're just not really worth going for, in my opinion. Maybe Saracchi. Maybe. I think Saracchi would be worth going for to try him out. 94 pace. Can't go wrong with that, man. Making up the space that he lost when he pushes up, because he is high medium, right? So he's gonna be more of an aggressive attacker than an aggressive defender, or not really an in between. Yeah, I think Saracchi would be the only one worth getting. Sun is just not a position change, so it's a little bit disappointing. But that's pretty much gonna do it for the video today, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Again, this is just my opinion. If you want to do these cards, I've reviewed the in-game stats of each one. I feel like they each have their problems, but no one's really perfect until you get to the legends and the higher rated cards. So you're still gonna have fun with some of these cards, but they will still have problems. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Pretty underwhelming day today, I think. I think if Sun was a striker card, there would be a lot of hype for it, but because it's a left mid, very underwhelming. But I'll see you guys in the next video tomorrow. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.